First up on the bulletin, let's tell you how even as the nation mourns the loss of 4 brave army men who died fighting terrorists in 2 separate encounters in Kashmir, the Army Chief Bipin Rawat indicated that it was time that terror was controlled from the grassroots level in Kashmir. The Army Chief said that the Army was not getting any support from the local population despite trying to conduct people-friendly operations. Well, he added that at a time the terrorists have graduated to villages, harsher measures were needed to control the local boys. Over the last few months, security men involved in anti-terror operations in Kashmir's villages have claimed that they are targeted by slogan-shouting, stone pelting as well.
Our aim has been to conduct people-friendly operations, but the manner in which the local population is preventing us in conducting the operations, at times even supporting the terrorists to escape, and it is these factors that is leading to higher casualties towards the security forces. We would now request the local population that people who have picked up arms, and these are the local boys, if they want to continue with this acts of terrorism, displaying flags of ISIS and Pakistan, then we will treat them as anti-national elements and go helter-skelter for them.
जो आतंकी हैं उसके लिए किसी को भी कवच बनने की जरूरत नहीं है। हम जम्मू कश्मीर की आवाम का सम्मान करते हैं, लेकिन कोई व्यक्ति भी अगर आतंकियों को बचाने के लिए आगे आएगा तो आतंकियों की ढाल हम किसी को बनने नहीं देंगे। कहने का सारांश यही है।
I believe Army Chief's statement in this kind is uncalled for. It is not something the Army should get into. This is a civilian matter. It should kind of remain in that. And either he's got excited about something or somewhere I think he's lost his sense of balance, which is what an Army Chief should always maintain. See, Army Chief is not some commando who has to roar and show his might. I think it is much better that you show it through assisting civilian administration.
I think there is no other option for the Army but to take some strong measures. But these measures have to be taken along with the state administration. So it's time that the state administration, in fact Jammu Kashmir Police, also gears up to take these measures which prevent these casualties rising both among the Army as well as see to it that civilian casualties are also not there.
I'm sure this is a good gesture by the Chief, this is a good warning by the Chief, but it remains to be seen on the ground because certain firm orders have to be issued to the security forces to take action accordingly. Otherwise, if the instructions, clear instructions are not being issued, I think they will not be able to take action against this supporters of the terrorists on the ground. So let's see what happens.
Is absolutely correct, because it's absolutely incorrect for the people of J&K, some elements, those who are pelting stones on the army columns, who are involved in the anti-terrorist action. This disturbs the action. Such kind of actions are very disturbing. Earlier also, in 1991, there have been incidents where the army has come down strictly on these anti-national elements.
What General Bipin Rawat has said is absolutely correct. The Indian Army is one of the finest armies in the world, and it does not kill innocent people anywhere. However, when operations are going on against the militants and against the Pakistani trained people who are waging a war against India, then if some people are obstructing the work and coming out and throwing stones or anyway doing any such actions which is obstructing the work and the operations of the Indian Army will take that person to be an overground worker of such organizations which are inimical to India and deal with them accordingly.
The statement of the Chief of the Army Staff, I think, is very timely, and I hope that we act on this because unless these people get a message that this is not a cakewalk, and they are doing something which is very serious and for which they will have to pay. I hope the state government and the government of India are on the board on this, and this message goes loud and strong, and wherever the action is necessary, action is taken effectively.
I don't know in what context the Army Chief has made such comments. It is for him to explain.
What General Rawat said is the ground reality. So it is a very, very difficult situation under which the army is functioning there, and that is the ground reality of Kashmir.
The Army Chief is correct, but he must also apply his mind for the political entities in the play, especially the ruling party, the PDP, who is in alliance with the Bharatiya Janata Party, and the comfort zone they share with some of them. It is therefore important for the Army Chief to go and arrest and take action against whoever he may be, whether he is from the political dispensation or is from the civil authorities. Action must be taken against every anti-national.
Well, in fact, let's go across to Ashish Singh, who's joining us, our Assistant Editor for Defense. Well, Ashish, it's a very significant message coming in from the Army Chief. But how is this going to translate into action on ground where, let's all face it, the government and politics has a big role to play?
Yes. Well, see, we must put this entire story in perspective for our viewers. Just to give a brief backgrounder for our viewers, Army is generally not involved in any other law and order situation in the Jammu and Kashmir. It's only involved with the Jammu and Kashmir Police's Special Operation Group, only in case of encounters and when they have the confirmed information about presence of a terrorist. But what is important here is to observe that Army Chief statement has come at a time when there are a series of such incidents. After Burhan Wani was killed, there were the stone pelting incidents on Army. The paramilitary forces were targeted. And looking at that in background, he has observed, he has got strong, in fact, even I was there in Kashmir when Burhan Wani was killed, and after that I visited there a couple of times. I sense that the local population, a very minor section of local population is helping these separatists, these terrorists, and the terror organizations. So this is the warning by Army Chief General Bipin Rawat to that minor section of the population, that if they continue to help the separatists, the Pakistan-sponsored terror organizations, and specifically the youth that has picked up guns, in that case, they will not think twice. The Army will not think twice before taking any kind of action against those youth. Initially, there were offensive orders that if they are from the crossover or they are into education and or
right.
Is a guide. Initially, it will take orders. So only the Army need to use weapons fire against them. But now
it is a dire warning, and it is coming out from the Army Chief. But we leave it there. Thank you so much, Ashish, for joining us. There's some big